we're going to be doing something different, starting with our PC games because it's easier this way with shadow play and a microphone by our PC. We're just going to talk about art, not necessarily the game. We can, I mean, I want us to just feel free to just talk. It's just to be fun, you know, like a podcast. But what we're actually here for is just to talk about the art itself and whether or not it really makes you want to play the game, you know.
Yeah. So. Do I want to play this game because of the art?
All right.
And we're going in alphabetical order, and these are games that we own on both Good Old Games,
Steam, and Epic Games.
And
if we got on Epic Games, it's free, and you guys should not be supporting Epic Games because they are not DRM free. And even though they claim to be offline, 50% of the time it doesn't work. So
it's never worked for me.
Let's talk about art.
Yes, beginning with A Plague Tale. Now, Innocence.
Now, A Plague Tale Innocence, the thing that's interesting about this game is I can definitely say that the art is good. In my opinion, I think the art is really good for this one. It gives you a clear idea of what the game is what's in the game. It's got the two protagonists that you're going to be playing as. It's about rats.
It's not really about rats.
The people in this picture, they don't look weird, you know. They don't look like they'd be on the front cover of like a Madden 2019, you know, with their lips poofing out and they're pinching their nipples like FIFA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're just.
It does the job. It looks like an album cover.
It does. It's very solemn.
Unfortunately, I did not have very much fun with this game. But from an artistic perspective, I think that cover does the game justice. I think it's well done.
A short hike.
A short hike.
You know, I've never even figured out what was on this picture until just now.
Really?
I didn't realize there was a little bird in the front.
Yeah, it's a little bird, and it's a waterfall.
I saw the waterfall in the trees, but I never knew what that what that thing was in the front until just now.
Yeah. Would you still want to play it just based on just what you saw?
For me, no, because it kind of looks like it's for a children's
game.
Like it might be like a
like Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah, or Freddy Fish.
Well, Freddy Fish is a good game though.
Freddy Fish is a good game, but I haven't played it as an adult. I don't actually know anything about this game, though. But based on the cover, I would be like, that's for kids, I'm sure.
Next one, I'm just going to straight up say that Troy, Total War Saga, looks absolutely terrible. Like, I like Total War games, but as soon as I saw that cover, I instantly decided I'm not going to play this game. Like, it looks awful.
Tell me why it looks awful.
Well, I hate the colors. I hate that the soldier is completely bronzed over.
He's got a bunch of spears pointing at him and he's gonna beat up.
It doesn't even look Greek to me, though. Like, it just looks like I walked into a Hindu temple and saw a god. It just doesn't look good. I don't like it at all.
Somebody drew this, though, right? This isn't a picture. So somebody did a very good job drawing, but the colors are not appealing.
It just doesn't look like
I also don't like this cover, even though whoever drew it is good at drawing. They should draw something else.
Okay. Abzu. I'm curious what your opinion is of this one.
The blue is pretty. It looks like it kind of makes me think of modern art because of the person.
The water looks fantastic.
The water's very pretty. The blue and the fish, I think those are supposed to be fish.
Yeah, those are fish in the background.
It looks very nice. I like the colors they chose.
I actually really like the font.
Yeah,
the font
is
goes good
nice.
with the background.
The simple font, yeah.
So, I'm a fan of it.
Yep, it's good.
I think that's a great picture. It definitely was enough to make me want to play it. Okay. I don't even know how to pronounce this. A-E-R? Ire? 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 I don't actually like this cover at all. It's one of the reasons I've never even touched this game. I think it's super boring looking.
It does look really boring, I agree.
It looks extremely indie, like the kind of indie that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks really boring.
Yeah, with a plain palette blue and the really plain bird thing.
Yeah. Like, I've got nothing against cell shading. Like, it kind of reminds me, like, just looking at it, the graphics kind of remind me of, like, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which is a game I still am really interested in. But, like, there's, like, nothing going on in here.
Yeah, it looks really boring. Age of Wonders. I do not like this cover at all. I don't either. I kind of like the colors. I like the colors, and I really like the title with the dragon behind it. But the picture is really bad.
Yeah, they love doing things like this. I noticed a lot of fantasy games, even like way back. Like if you look at the original art for, and I think we might even have it on here, of the original Elder Scrolls game, like where it has like I don't know, these fantasy female elves just, especially in the 90s, they just look terrible.
Yeah.
They look awful.
And then who's this like grumpy looking guy on the left?
Yeah.
Just like,
it looks like an old like 1980s D&D book.
yeah.
And yeah, I just don't.
I see Palpatine in the middle.
That's actually the only part of this of the three that I like.
Yeah.
I like the wizard shooting the electrical.
If they deleted the woman on the right and the man on the left and just had the man shooting the magic.
Oh heck yeah, that would look so good. Now that you say that.
With a couple horses down there in the bottom.
Right. So you got like the horses in the ravine and in the tower that's getting shocked by electricity, and the wizard there in the center.
That would look a lot better.
Oh heck yeah, that would. There's just too much going on in that picture.
Too much not good going on.
Yeah.
Alan Wake.
I really, really like that cover.
I do too. I think it's really awesome that they made his silhouette the A.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that he's got a flashlight and a gun.
He's got a pistol in one hand, a flashlight in the other hand. He's pointing the flashlight at you.
And so this game's going to have something to do with flashlight, something to do with fog, something...
Forest.
And a forest, and you're going to have a gun.
Yeah.
It looks really mysterious.
I love the black in the background. It kind of almost looks like a John Carpenter film.
It does.
Which makes it so sad that their DLC looks so
right,
terrible.
When you look right next to it, he's got like a massive nail gun, and he's dressed like a...
I guess it all depends on what you think is cool, because you could kind of argue that he kind of like impersonates kind of like a Bruce Campbell, like Ash from the Evil Dead type poster from there. Like it kind of looks like a Sam Raimi poster from the Evil Dead series, like the comedy horror.
Yes, it does. That would be his chainsaw, that nail gun.
The nail gun would be the chainsaw.
And the flashlight would be his shotgun.
Boomstick, yeah, his shotgun.
I see that there are like hands reaching up, like claw hands. Are there zombies in this game? Or what is that about?
I think it's just the shadow people from the first one. I don't know. I've never been interested in playing the DLC just because it looks like that.
It doesn't make sense though that his flashlight's on because their sun is out.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like in the first one, it's dark.
Yeah, why does he have a flashlight when the sun's up?
Well, the flashlight's on.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make any... I don't like that picture. Alien versus Predator.
I like the top half of this poster. Like I like the alien.
With the alien mouth?
With the alien mouth roaring.
You don't like the Predator? Predator should probably be wearing his mask.
Yeah, I don't like the Predator. I think
because like in the movie, he's one ugly. Except I can't finish it.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think the Predator's face should ever be revealed on a cover.
No, because his mask is pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Because he's ugly.
And that's how we know the Predator.
I don't really like it because when I think of Alien and Predator, I never think of orange and red. I think of greens and blacks and blues, maybe.
What's blue?
Space.
Oh.
And the flashing lights, the strobe lights that happen in Alien.
Oh, yeah.
And Predator, green and brown. I don't know. I don't think those colors are right for that game, but maybe that game takes place in lava.
No, I played that game for a little bit. It has amazing FMV sequences in it that I really, really like. But there was a lot of that kind of color template in the game.
The Alto Collection.
I honestly have no idea what this game is about, and even looking at it, I'm super confused because we've got like a Dutch windmill, and then we've got like a medieval castle, and then Alto has a llama for an A.
I have no problem with this picture. I think it's kind of a pretty simple picture. I like the colors, and I like the black. If the video game looks anything like this, I wouldn't be interested.
Right.
I like it as a picture, though. Amnesia, a machine for pigs. I don't like anything about this picture.
Well, I mean, it is a horror game, so you don't want it to be like, all roses and...
Well, why would I want this pig head on the front? All roses, and then you look at the next picture.
Oh, yeah. That's just what...
You don't want it to be all roses. And then Amnesia, the Dark Descent.
It's just a rose.
It's a rose.
I think as a horror game, I think it looks interesting. Like, it makes you want... For me personally, since I enjoy horror games for the most part, it does make me wonder, like, what the heck is this about? For me, it does create a sense of mystery. It is a gross picture, but just because something is gross, in my opinion, doesn't mean that it's bad. I don't know. Like it does make me wonder. Like, what the heck is this game about? Mm-hmm. I personally don't have a problem with it.
I was hoping we would disagree at some point.
Yeah, I think it has enough mysterious to it to captivate. Like it has enough in the picture to make me wonder, like, what the heck is this about? Without being like so gross. It's like, yeah, I'm never gonna play this.
I know, because since it's a horror game, it's not supposed to be all roses in the front. So Amnesia, Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
I really like that picture.
I like this picture too.
I think that looks great. I like the font. I like even where it says, where it says Dark Descent.
Yeah.
I think that font looks awesome. It looks
that
great.
Could totally be a poster.
Yes.
I'd hang that on my wall. Anno 1404 Gold Edition.
I would like it. I like the background. I don't like the foreground. If they took out the foreground, I think that would be a much better looking cover. Because I like ships. Mm-hmm. I like pirate ships and stuff like that. But that weird, like, I don't know what that's supposed to be.
It does kind of look like that just was stamped in there. This little, like, family or something.
Yeah, this family in, like, this Italian canoe or whatever.
It does look like it doesn't even belong there.
If they had just kept the background and gotten rid of that foreground right there, I think that cover would look really good.
I think it's really well done, the picture. I just think it looks like something from a history book, which it is supposed to be historical.
Right.
And we did buy this game for me because it's
supposed to be explored. I tried to find something similar to Banished for you.
Because I like city building stuff. Anno 1503 AD. I don't like this picture either.
Out of all the Annos I see right now in this top row, this picture's my least favorite. I'm not sure what they were thinking with this one. Like
I don't know. That man is not cool looking at all.
It's like Michael Douglas plays Christopher Columbus. Because he's got like the dimple in his chin or whatever. Like
yeah. Anno 1602 AD.
That one, okay, this is where simplicity wins in the end, I think. That looks
like
fantastic.
That. Yeah, I like that.
You got the old paper with, you could see the outlines of a ship. You got the compass. And the compass doesn't encompass, the whole picture. Mm-hmm. It's just, yeah. I think out of all the Annos, that's my favorite one.
Anno 1701.
And see, that's what I'm talking about right there, where I like that. I like where they focus on the background, and I like the ship. I like the colors. Uh-huh. And I'm glad that they didn't ruin the water by putting like a family in a canoe in front of it.
Or ruin the entire picture by putting some man with with a frilly collar.
Yeah.
Anodyne 2, Return to Dust.
I don't know what I'm looking at, to be honest.
Is this an in-game picture?
I can't tell what I'm looking at.
I see a blue human-shaped creature on the right.
But what's he doing?
Telling her to stop.
But why is her shoes sparkling? And why is there like blue Play-Doh going from his nose to her fist?
This cover's not very good.
I don't know what this is.
I don't like this picture.
This looks terrible.
I can't figure out either. But that's why
What the heck?
That's why I want to know if this is some sort of screenshot.
Yeah.
Or did someone actually... It sort of looks like I don't know what this game looks like actually, but it looks like an in-game picture because of the smearedness of the ground and...
Right. What is this?
I don't know.
I've never paid attention to it before because just first glance I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Just, but then now I look at it, I'm like, what am I looking at?
I don't know. I'm not playing that game.
I don't know what they were thinking there. I'd have to have Jeff Gersman and Greg Kasavin and Brad Shoemaker and Ben Yahtzee starts talking about how amazing this game is before I even gave it another look.
That's funny.
Speaking of which, that's how I feel about our next game on here, Arcanum of Steamworks and Magic Obscura. This cover was constantly being shown. You know how Go Games does when you install stuff?
Yeah, they advertise games.
And I always thought, man, that game looks stupid. And then I found out that it was by Troika, the same people who did Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and that people love it. Like, it's supposed to be really, really good. So I played it, and I felt like the game was super incomplete, and it didn't grab me. I felt like it was way, way overrated.
I'm just looking at this cover, so obviously the first thing you see is that woman's face.
I know, that's what made me, that was the biggest turnoff.
But then you look like right below her chin, there's a squatting man holding a fireball or something.
That's a dwarf, and I think he's got a flame cannon.
Oh.
And there's a green wizard, and he's about ready to shoot you with his magical flashlight.
Okay.
And then I don't know. There's a blimp because it's like steampunk.
Yeah, it's steampunk, and it's like a cog-shaped circle. It's ugly.
It's super ugly. It's another one of those examples of where people in the 1990s just could not draw female elves right. You know, like they just couldn't get it. It was
imagine if it was the whole woman. How she would look.
Ark Survival
Evolved.
Oh, where did I get equipped from?
I don't know.
Maybe I shouldn't be qualified to be judging these game covers if I get equipped out of Evolved when they only
Hey, reading is different than looking at pictures.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
Yes.
The first thing that I noticed about this is I do not like that the dinosaur's face is immediately cut off by the logo.
That's what I was going to say. This giant A is too giant.
I don't think there's anything wrong with the picture, but you can't see all of it.
Well, I didn't even realize actually till just now there's 2 dinosaurs in this picture.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I didn't even realize she was riding a littler one. I thought she was like on the side of that big one, and then I see that this A is literally covering up an entire creature that somebody drew.
I'd be so mad.
I would be too.
Because I put all this effort into drawing that Velociraptor or whatever it is down below that T-Rex, and someone in the IT lab decides to just plaster a logo right over this Velociraptor that I drew.
This is a horrible cover. I don't like it because of that reason.
Yeah.
The artist did a great job with the dinosaurs, I think.
Yes.
And I see that there's some sort of mech thing going on, so I probably wouldn't even be interested in this game anyway. But the artist did a good job, and I think the picture is pretty good. It's just, what were they thinking as plastering this A on here? Moving on. Army Men.
I don't think it's a great picture, but if you look at like all the Army Men games in a row, they all have that same aesthetic.
Well, because they're supposed to be a toy.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a toy. I think Army Man 1 actually looks better than the poster for Army Man 2. You can't even tell that he's shooting a flamethrower in Army Man 2.
It uses the font.
I like the Army font.
Yeah, the Army Man font.
The Army Man font's really cool.
And you can see wars going on behind him. Because there's a tree getting knocked over or something in the background.
Yeah.
And he is shooting that. You can see that it's being shot at that moment.
He's holding his eye awfully close to that scope for shooting a bazooka. Holy crap.
Maybe it's melted to his eye.
Maybe he's not going to have an eye left after firing that thing.
Iron Man 2, yeah, you can't even tell he's holding a weapon, really. You know he is, but you can't really tell.
Uh-huh.
And they used the same background. They just zoomed way in on the Army Man.
I do like how the 2 is a giant red Roman numeral.
I like that too.
Not really a fan of the picture. I think that it's zoomed way too close in on his face.
Mm-hmm.
It should have zoomed him way out so that you could see the entire flamethrower. Maybe even zoomed out far enough to see the flame.
Maybe to see an army of Army Men behind him or something. Arx Fatalis.
I personally think this is a fantasy game cover done right. This game looks really cool just based off of the cover. Like, because right off the bat, you kind of know what you're getting into. It's a dungeon crawler.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have thought of this as a dungeon crawler.
Really? What would you have thought of by looking at this?
An action adventure.
Really?
That's what I was thinking.
So he's coming out of the tomb? Or what do you think he's doing? Because he's actually going into a dungeon.
Yeah, I see he's going in because of the light outside. I thought it was going to be like an action adventure game like Tomb Raider or something like that.
I like the shadow when he's standing there. I like the fact that you can tell, like you said, like the fact that he's coming into the dungeon because it's light on the outside. He is entering the darkness rather than entering the light, so you know that you're like going to be up for some tough battles.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
I hate every Assassin's Creed cover.
So that must include this one.
Yes, they all look so like bad AAA. Like they all look so much like we're trying so hard to look so cool that we're not. Let's just make every cover have hooded figures with long matrix jackets and looking down. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game, and honestly the reason why is because of the covers.
But a lot of people fall for that though.
Oh, Assassin's Creed is one of the best-selling franchises to this day.
I mean, it works. It's just like clickbait on the internet. It works, and it sucks so much. Anyway, Axiom Verge.
I actually really like this cover, and for the longest time I wanted to play Axiom Verge, and it was because of this cover. It's very, very much inspired by Super Metroid. Instead of a Metroid being in the top left corner, you've got this weird like robotic face. I like the red, almost pink Axiom Verge on the dark back. Like for some reason, I don't know what it is about pink and black, but I really do like small amounts of pink on a black background when it comes to text.
I think I like every single color with black. I think colors with black look really good because they pop.
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
And I really like the colors in this picture. I honestly don't care for the picture, though.
Oh, you don't?
No, I wouldn't play this game based on this picture.
Just because it looks like Super Metroid, or?
Yeah, it looks like a game I wouldn't be interested in.
Okay, but at least you kind of get an idea of what kind of.
But
game
I do
it is.
It looks like a platformer.
It is
from this picture.
Yeah, it is a Metroidvania.
And it looks like something futuristic because of the robotic alienish looking face up there. Baldur's Gate, the original saga.
This is more personal preference than anything, but I actually don't like this particular cover just because of the skull. I'm not really a fan of, I like the minimalism of it.
Though it reminds me of one of my favorite movies because when the Terminator it looks like the Terminator when he has no skin because his eyes are glowing red. But I also don't like skulls.
I like the simplicity of it.
This doesn't tell me at all what this game is.
Yeah, which in some ways can be a positive.
Well, I'm not going to pick up this game, and I happen to really like the type of game Baldur's Gate is. But I wouldn't get this game based on that cover.
Yeah. But in contrast, I think Baldur's Gate 2 cover looks incredible.
It's got amazing colors. What is the picture, really?
So it's like an emblem or a symbol, and it's like I don't know if they're elves or mermen or what they are, but it's like you've got your yin and yang. You've got like the light-colored elf spiraling to the counterclockwise.
Oh, it's an upside down.
Yeah, and then you have an upside down dark elf.
Okay.
Spiraling the other way. So it's like an emblem. I'm not sure the significance of it because I've only played the first 15 minutes of Baldur's Gate 2. But I think that like how it looks like an ancient book with like the border, the golden border with the gemstones in it. I don't know what is that like a dark blue aquamarine or what would you call that texture?
I'd call that aquamarine.
Aquamarine. I just really like that. Yeah.
It looks like a classic PC game.
Yeah, it really does.
Banished. It looks cold. Yep. And it looks like it's probably a city builder, which it is. I've played this game a lot.
I'm not even 100% sure if that's its actual cover because Banished is only been digital copy.
Yeah. I'm really not sure how else you would present Banished because it's
what do you think about the font colors though?
I don't have a problem with that font.
All right.
Do you?
I don't know. It's just for having such a wintry background. I think it's interesting using yellow.
Well, it would just be too cold if they chose blue, or.
Yeah, blue wouldn't look right, but maybe I don't know. I guess yellow was fine. I guess it does. It's fine.
All right, the Banner Saga.
I'm having a hard time because there's like things about like I like the color. I like that it looks like a Don Bluth painting or drawing like from the old like Disney movies. The thing that really throws me off about this picture is where the placement of Banner Saga is.
Since it's a banner, why is it on the bottom?
Yeah, why is it on the bottom and why is it like...
I think it would make way more sense for the banner to be on top.
Yeah.
Because it's a banner, it's flying in the wind.
But you don't want it to be attached to his staff, otherwise it looks like he's holding a flag.
What's wrong with that? That's a banner.
There's a lot of good moments in this game, and I'm not sure if that was the best picture to choose for this.
I wouldn't play this game because it looks really melodramatic to me.
It is a very melodramatic game. It is very melodramatic, but this is actually... I really do like this game. I think this game's great. It's like Oregon Trail meets Fire Emblem.
I just don't really care for that screenshot or whatever, that choice of picture for this game, I guess.
Yeah.
But she's sewing his...
What she's doing is
sewing a banner.
She is sewing the banner, yep. She's sewing the banner because the banner
she's sitting on his lap?
Yeah, that is a little weird.
It just seems kind of strange.
It is, because especially when you realize that they're father-daughter. It is a little odd how he's kind of like over her like that.
Alright, moving on to Banner Saga 2.
This one I think is far worse, though. I really do not like this cover.
I see a blonde lady. Yeah. What's behind her?
That is... I can't remember what they call it.
Oh, it's the big men with the horns.
Yeah, he's like a giant.
I couldn't see what he was at first.
Yeah, he's like a Viking giant.
I don't like that picture either. Why is the foreground this box?
Yeah, I don't know. That was one thing that threw me off. I do like the placement of the title, though.
I like the army in the background.
Mm-hmm. That looks really good, too. You know what? This actually probably would have benefited from the same thing that Anno 1402 or whatever it was called benefited, which is just keep the background but take out the foreground.
Yeah.
Because if you kept that army... Because as you can see, you've got like a trail, like an Oregon Trail, of people going up a mountain, and they're following the mountain pass.
Yeah.
You know, in the background. Like, if they kept the rocks and even maybe kept, like, the banner lying on top of the rocks.
Yeah.
You know, but, like, got rid of the box and then the weird blonde woman with the giant.
Yeah.
But just kept the banner lying on the rocks.
I see that. That would be kind of cool to leave the banner in the front there like that and then the army in the back. And It's got a really pretty title. I like that. Bastion.
I'm trying to think. If you thought the main protagonist for Bastion was cool, would you think this cover is cool? Because my biggest problem with Bastion, my biggest problem with a lot of video games, is I just don't like the look of the protagonist.
For me, looking at this cover, not knowing anything about the game, I like the brightness of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this doesn't make me think this is a kid's game when I look at it. It makes me think it would be a game like maybe like a Super Nintendo platformer or something is what I'm getting from this. I mean, it just looks like artwork for a platforming character or something. And there's a plant for the eye.
Yes. I do like the font. Yeah, the font is great. And I agree with you, the colors are great.
Batman Arkham Asylum. Will you please share your quote from Ben Yahtzee? Because it makes me laugh.
So, Ben Yahtzee, when he was reviewing this game, he's like, Batman Arkham Asylum is a great game, but I don't know about that cover. It looks like Batman walked into a room and forgot why he was there.
It's so funny.
It's so true. There's nothing wrong with the colors of the rain or anything like that. It's just...
Batman.
It's just Batman. He's the problem in that picture.
Batman Arkham City.
That's one of the better. I've never liked any of the Arkham City covers, but that is one of the better ones. It looks like he's got Catwoman's whip wrapped around his arm. I don't know. It's okay. It's kind of boring.
I think it's kind of boring.
Just like the game. Arkham City's kind of boring. I really was hoping for some awesome Mark Hamill lines, and the Joker really just had nothing interesting to say the whole game.
Batman Arkham Knight.
I've heard this game's not any good, but I do like that cover, actually. I like that Batman looks like he has a purpose.
Instead of just standing there.
Instead of just standing there, yeah. Like, I feel like he has a purpose in that picture, and he definitely looks like Batman.
Yeah. That definitely looks like a movie poster.
Yeah, it looks like a movie poster that you'd see.
I like the color going around the bat symbol.
Ooh, yeah. Now, wait a minute. Do you think, though, they should have put...
Although I don't like the font inside it.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Do you think... I think it would have been... Do you think it would have been better, since everyone knows who Batman is, do you think it would have been better if they just had the bat symbol and then put Arkham Knight underneath it? The part where the font's in, left that all just kind of like a black texture? Because everyone knows who Batman is. Like, if you... Like, remember...
Yeah, but the game is called Batman. Because if you called it Arkham Knight, then it'd have that... It'd be like the Rambo series where the first movie is called First Blood, and now how do you alphabetize First Blood when the second one's called Rambo Part 2 First Blood? I think that would mess it up.
Yeah. But it could be like one of those unspoken things. Like if you look at Batman Begins...
I think Batman, the name belongs on there if that's part of the name.
But where?
I don't know. But it belongs on there.
I don't know. For me, from an artistic perspective, I think I would have gotten rid of the Batman and just let people assume that it says Batman.
Battle Chasers Nightwar. This looks too busy. For me.
It is too busy. It's way too busy. Like, you have to stare at it for a long time to make out all the characters in this cover. It honestly looks like a Riot Games game, like League of Legends.
It's too busy for me. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Beneath a Steel Sky.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm always a fan of the black.
I love that cover.
Simplistic black stuff.
It looks like a Stephen King novel.
It does look just like a Stephen King novel. Bioshock.
I have no problems with the Bioshock cover. I remember seeing it back in the day and thought it looked interesting. Back in 2007 when it came out, I remember looking at it and be like, I wonder what this is about. And now that I'm looking at it, I just noticed that one of the little sisters is actually in the picture, and I never knew that.
Whoa, I didn't see that until you said that.
I really like this picture. Definitely more than Bioshock 2. Holy crap. Bioshock 2 looks terrible. I hate where they put the little sister. And I don't even like what the big daddy looks like.
I feel like his face is glowing too much.
Yes, it's too distracting. Yeah,
I don't care for that picture.
I hate where they put the little sister on his shoulder. I like the subtleness of the first one way more.
How about Bioshock Infinite?
I do like that picture. I don't know anything about Elizabeth because I haven't played long enough to even meet her yet.
I appreciate she's wearing clothes.
Yeah. Well, in the game she's got an extreme low cut. You just can't see. Yeah, you just can't see it but that's a good thing. I mean, they didn't actually put the low cut in there, so that means if people buy this poster and they hang it on their walls, you're not going to constantly be exposed to breasts. You know what I mean? Like,
Exposed to exposed breasts.
Exposed to exposed breasts. So yeah, like she's turned at the side, so you can't actually see how low her blouse goes. But so therefore she's not sexualized in this picture, just in the game.
I like the font.
Yeah, and the font looks great.
It's nice.
It's a great looking cover.
It looks like a movie cover.
Yeah, it does.
Movie poster. Black Mesa.
That is so boring, but I can't be too hard on him. Like, I'll be hard on him just because I'm hard on everybody else. But like, you have to remember this is a fan-based mod. I think that cover is really boring.
It is really boring. At least they took the time to make the A the Half-Life symbol.
Yeah.
But yes.
Why did they not put the Half-Life symbol in where it usually goes in that?
Blair Witch.
I like those kind of covers, especially for horror games.
I like this cover too. I think it's a good one. I like the trees as the border and like this river, I guess. And
It's like a creek.
And then a man with a dog. I think that's cool. And then that it's just two colors. I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks it's going to be scary.
Yep.
That's what I think.
There's a lot of good horror covers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is an example of a good one.
Blood, Fresh Supply.
I don't think it took them very long to come up with this idea.
Along with blood, one unit whole blood.
All Fresh Supply is mouse and keyboard patched. Because originally, like, the original Blood was played just like the original Doom, which was like keyboard only. Mm-hmm. But then they gave mouse look support for Fresh Supply. But it's like their son came home from preschool and they're like, hey, I could use this for a game cover.
Although the hand isn't a normal hand, it looks like it's got a hole blown through it.
I mean, if you look at my hand, like it.
Yeah, but look at it. Look. It looks
Isn't
like.
that how most handprints look, though? They have that hole there. They don't.
Not quite. It looks like that's a hole that was put into it. To me, Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
I'm just gonna let you comment on all these right here.
I still remember the very first time I saw a Borderlands cover when we were at Jay's. And I was like, what the heck is that? And who would have thought someday I would be beating Borderlands 2?
Yep, 56 hours later.
I think that, what's that character, a psycho?
I think it's just Psycho.
I think they are the ugliest characters, and I think the covers for Borderlands are the dumbest covers. And that's my opinion.
I honestly don't have that much of a problem with Borderlands covers.
I do not like that as the why is that the picture that they keep using?
I do have a problem with Borderlands 3 cover. I do not like how they took the psycho dude and then just made him dress like a Buddhist monk and gave him roses. It's very strange.
It's weird. This Borderlands pre-sequel I like better than the Borderlands 2, I guess, just because okay, this psycho, stupid-looking character is shooting his head with his fingers, and then you can kind of imagine that what's shooting out of his head is all these other stupid characters that are in the game.
Like Claptrap?
Like Claptrap and pretty much everyone else that I don't like.
Yeah, I don't personally have a problem with the covers. I just don't like seeing these covers on the top 100 greatest games of all time list.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, what? No way. Anyway.
I feel like I have every right to have an opinion on Borderlands 2, particularly because I went through the whole game.
Yep.
With my nephew and Aaron.
Yeah, we beat it. So you have every right to your opinion. Anyway,
moving on. The Bureau, XCOM Declassified.
In theory, this is a cool cover, but I feel like they put too much blackout on it.
It does look that way.
Like, I like what they're trying to do. Like, it's being declassified.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like if they put enough on there that you know you're looking at the back of a head of a man, but you can't tell that this takes place in the 1950s because there's just not enough showing. But I really like the Bureau.
I do too. Caesar 4. So it looks like we're looking through a doorway or a window of a building down at this temple thing. I can't tell what's in the doorway though. Is it something dead or is it like a transport thing? I don't really like this picture.
You know what? I was waiting for your opinion first before I spoke mine. Like, I got this game because it was pretty highly rated and it was supposed to be a sim builder, and I'm desperately trying to find things that you will enjoy. From first glance at this cover, I could just tell you right off the bat, I don't think this is a game I'd be interested in. Mm-hmm. It doesn't jump out at me. I don't find it.
If this was a city building game, I'd probably like it, but I don't really like this picture. I should play it.
Yeah, That's probably why you've never played it, is because you keep
scrolling by
crawling past it. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable.
It is.
Which is sad because there's a lot of detail in it.
I know. Someone worked really hard on that picture, but I just don't really like it for this.
There's nothing in it that pops.
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu.
Dark Corners of the Earth. I like the background. I don't like this guy in the front.
I think he's supposed to be like a fish man, but you can't really tell he's a fish man. I don't even see scales on him. Oh yeah, you can tell he's a fish man because you could see gills right below covering his ears. I really like the background. I am trying to I do think that maybe, especially how big they made him.
Yeah, he's very big.
I think the fish man in the front is a little too much. That foggy background with that old school lantern and then that old Victorian window in the back, that is sweet looking.
Call of Juarez.
There's a couple things that bother me about this picture that just kind of like, I can't make up how I feel about that foreground with the cowboy.
How about the cowboy trilogy in the background?
I like that. I do like.
How about that Native American?
That's the other thing that really bothers me. I don't like that. I don't think it looks right. There's something about
I feel like this is kind of a cheesy picture.
Yeah. What it reminds me of is like when you go to JCD and Hobby and you're just scrolling through games and there's all these like cheesy games that you're not really interested in. It looks like one of those. And they got like an overstock of one particular type of game. Looks like one of those games that would be sitting on the shelf and there'd be like 5 of them all next to each other.
How about Call of Juarez Gunslinger?
I like that one.
I like it too.
There's not much going on, but I do like how he's like wearing a Mexican poncho.
Yeah.
And then just smoking a cigar.
He's definitely in southern Texas or in Mexico, and he's not Mexican.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like.
Yeah. I like that one.
I like it too.
I think that one looks great.
And they're not showing his face.
I appreciate it because people really get faces wrong. They get them wrong really bad.
They do. Looks like that guy's probably pretty cool. I don't know who he is.
Right.
It looks like there's a ransom going on. I see a piece of a reward.
Yeah.
How about Celeste?
Honestly, if this game didn't win Greatest Game of 2018, I don't think I would have ever touched this game. This is another one of those games that makes me lose faith in indie games.
This cover makes me think of a Japanese platformer that never came to America. That's what I see when I look at it.
Okay. Like Super Nintendo?
I'm thinking more of a Sega game.
Okay. Oh yeah. I can see Sega. I see Sega in that.
The cover's fine, I guess.
Yeah, the cover's fine. I guess I'm a little biased just because I can't see how in the world this game won Game of the Year at the Game Awards in 2018, but it's one of those I would have easily skipped over.
I would have skipped over it too. It doesn't look like something I care about. Chernobylite. I
like everything about this cover except for the corny skull mask. I wish they used a regular gas mask. I even wish they kept the green. I'd love if they kept the green flame for the lens. Just get rid of that stupid nose and that stupid skull. Put her actual gas mask filter on there.
I wonder why they did that.
Be edgy and dark.
Yeah, that picture's almost cool.
You could almost argue that it looks like he's not that he's got green flames in it underneath that, but like he's looking at a green anomaly.
Yeah, or some green radiation.
Yeah, or some radiation. Like, I like everything about that cover except the skull mask.
I really like the text, though.
I'm definitely going to be playing that game. No doubt about it. That is definitely a game. When I'm scrolling through my list of games, that one's a popper. That one pops out.
Mm-hmm. City of Brass. This looks really boring to me.
Yes, it does. It's very boring.
I don't think I like anything about this picture, actually. I don't even like the text.
I feel the same thing about Close to the Sun, too.
I like that picture more than City of Brass.
Okay.
I like the colors. I like the dark blue and the dark green and the black and the water.
You know, now that I said it, though, I kind of do like the lightning in the top.
Oh, yeah, the lightning up there.
And the steamboat. Now I'm actually wondering what this game's about.
Yeah.
I've always bypassed it when looking through my library.
I don't really care for Close to the Sun's text choice, though.
No.
It looks Native American or something. Maybe there's a purpose to it, but I don't really like that text title.
Uh-huh.
Commandos behind enemy lines.
Well, no, these are your favorites. you were so excited to get these games.
Aaron always picks on me about these Commandos games.
Because I had no interest in buying these games, and yet you wanted to get the whole trilogy. And I was like, why? Are you going to play this? She said, like, it's only 98 cents.
No, it was less than that. It was like 80-something cents.
No, it was 98
cents. It was cheap.
You're like, oh my goodness.
It might have even been 50-something cents. It was like so ridiculously cheap. I was like, we have to get it.
I've never seen anything lower than 98 cents on Go.
Commandos was.
no, this was like 98 cents. And you're like, we have to get this. I'm like, are you going to play this? And you were like, it's just so cheap. And I'm like, are you really going to play this? And you're like, maybe. I'm like...
Anyway, Commando's I don't like that picture with the guy on the beret.
That's another reason why I'm still, to this day, so confused as to why you want to buy this game.
I don't like that picture. It's ugly. Moving on to Commandos Beyond the Call of Duty.
It's basically the same picture as the first one.
It's the same man. I like this picture better than the first one because you can see his big army knife there. Yeah. And he's shooting a gun. Commandos 2, Men of Courage. That's right out of Rambo right there.
Yeah, it is. That's straight out of Rambo.
I like that picture pretty good. I like that he's coming out of the swamp. It kind of actually looks like it's not finished.
Yeah.
Like if you look at those leaves compared to the man, it looks like they didn't finish the leaves.
Maybe they just want to overemphasize the man. That's why they put more detail on him.
And then Commandos 3, Destination Berlin. I don't like that picture at all.
That looks way too EA Sports.
Yeah, I don't like that picture. My favorite picture is Commandos 2 and then Commandos Beyond the Call of Duty.
Like, if you took Commandos 3 and you replaced that gun with a football, you'd be set.
Yep. That's funny.
You'd be set.
Yeah, I don't like that picture. Company of Heroes 2.
Kudos to them for being brave enough to put a swastika in their cover title.
I think the cover is actually really cool looking. But I kind of don't like the orange and the red mixed like that. Or the yellow and the red.
Yeah.
I like the left side better than the right side.
Uh-huh. I'm proud of them for not shying away from World War II history and putting an actual swastika rather than just an eagle.
I know, because as George Santayana said, those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it.
I just don't think we should be embarrassed by history.
And we can't forget it.
No. I just honestly don't see how
it's like we try to forget the most horrible pieces of history when those are the things we need to remember the most.
Yes.
Because I can see it happening again. It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Just in a different way.
Yep.
It's just going to be a different country.
Different
ideologies. Different targeted people. Things like that. It'll be the same thing but different. I really like all the black and white part of the drawings.
Yes.
It looks really good. And you can see they're in the snow. Canarium? I really dislike everything about this picture.
Even as a horror game?
Yeah, I don't like that picture.
It's really ugly. It does stick out to me every time we're scrolling, but honestly, I never feel like playing it. It's disturbing.
Costume Quest 2 looks stupid.
Yes, it does.
Looks like modern Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which looks stupid.
Yep, I absolutely agree.
Counter-Strike.
I think it's boring.
I think it's really boring too. Although they put a lot of detail on that gun, didn't they?
Yeah, but look at that guy's eyes. He's like falling asleep. He's so bored. How can you be holding an M16 in your hand and look like that? He's like, oh, I'm trying to stay awake.
His arm is really big, his left arm. Yeah, I think it's kind of like the Mega Man 2 artwork or something.
Yeah. It looks so boring. If I saw that on the store shelf and I didn't see the Counter-Strike title on the top, I would have just not even gave it a second look.
How about Counter-Strike Condition Zero?
It's a little bit better. I honestly don't think. Yeah, I don't like it. I was just about ready to say I honestly can't think of a Counter-Strike cover that I like. And then when you get to Counter-Strike Global Offense, then I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of a cool cover.
Counter-Strike Condition Zero deleted scenes.
That's so boring looking.
Okay, Counter-Strike Global Offense.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the Counter-Strike poster that I think actually looks interesting.
It's pretty cool. I like the contrast.
Yeah, I like the contrast, the orange and the black.
Mm-hmm.
The orange and the black is super sweet. Looking at that makes me want to play it.
Crashlands looks stupid.
It looks like a game I would not play.
It looks really stupid.
It's like they got their idea from Team America World Police, but then they replaced it with like
a midget Iron Man.
Yeah, like a midget Iron Man.
Cryptarch. I see a lot of like alien, robotic alien creatures. I'm guessing the protagonist is this floating.
Yeah, the
creature.
Protagonist is the one that's floating. This game is kind. I don't know why I haven't played this game yet because it's basically Bangai-O for the PC.
I like the colors in this picture.
Yeah, I like the old school look of it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that protagonist though.
Looks like a ball of mechanical.
That helmet, for some reason, it keeps looking like a vulture's head to me.
I like the colors. I think that's the only thing I like.
I like the color. I like the enemies.
Crisis.
Well, I must obviously like this cover if I was willing to dedicate like 3 to 4 hours of my time making a Christmas ornament based on that picture.
Yep. And when you call me, that's the picture that comes up.
Yeah, I must have liked it. No, I still like it.
It's a great picture.
I think it looks great. I like the colors. I like the font.
Nomad looks cool looking over his shoulder at you. I like the gray and white and the black, and then the only color is red. And it definitely doesn't let you know that it's a jungle. There's a lot of jungle in this
Well, see, here's the thing, and this is one of the reasons why I was kind of debating for a while whether or not we should even do this video, and that's because I actually not entirely sure if that is the full real cover.
Oh.
Because I think if I remember seeing it at Best Buy back in 2007,
it has his whole body, doesn't it?
It had his whole body, and you could see palm trees in the background.
Here, I'll add a picture of what the full cover looks like.
But even then, just looking at that, I think that looks, just based off of that itself, I think that looks great.
Yeah, it's cool looking. It definitely looks like a boy game.
It is a boy game.
Something Aaron would enjoy.
Which is why it's too bad that the next Crisis cover is absolutely retarded looking.
It is. Look at Psycho's face.
Man, he's dumb looking.
Look at his eyes.
You know what honestly reminds me of?
What?
It reminds me of like the cover of every Infamous game for the PlayStation 3.
Oh my goodness, it does.
4.
It does look like Infamous.
Because it's always a bald white guy in Infamous. It doesn't matter what age. It can be like a 30-year-old bald white guy or like a 12-year-old bald white guy. It's always a bald white guy. That's about all I have to say.
There's nothing about that picture that's cool except for the font from the original Crisis.
Right.
Cuphead.
I like that cover.
It's a great cover. It looks really classic. I wouldn't even think that that's a video game, though. I would think that's a cartoon.
Yeah, well, that's how good it is, because
I know.
It tries to go for a cartoon.
It's very good.
If I was to do like top 10 best aesthetics in a video game, I think Cuphead would be in there.
I'm really happy that Cuphead got so recognized. It seems like a game that people would not be interested in because a lot of modern gamers
hate the past.
Have no interest in anything older than 2010 or something like that.
Right.
And this is going for the 1920s.
20s, 30s. Yeah, 30s. 30s cartoons, like 1930s and 40s cartoons.
So it's really interesting to me that this game got as much praise as it did. I'm glad it did.
It deserves it.
Yeah.
It deserves it.
It's not very often where I'm like, that game deserved all its attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like, I can't believe that game's getting so much attention.
Yeah. I think Cuphead is a fantastic game, both the way it looks and the way it plays. And it plays like a 1980s platformer, but it has a 1930s, 40s look. It's just awesome.
The Curse of Monkey Island.
I really want to beat this game, but I actually don't really care for that cover.
What's in the very foreground?
See, that's why I don't care for it. I know what it is because I've played the game, but if you haven't played the game, it's going to take you like 30 minutes to figure out what you're looking at.
I can't tell what that is. What is it?
So he is rowing a boat, and that's his ponytail that you see in the back. And he's got like an oar sticking out behind him, like he's resting his back against an oar.
Oh, I can see it now. There's a man. Okay.
It's not a good picture.
No, I don't like that picture.
It's not a good picture at all.
I like the text font. Darklands.
You got me Darklands?
What do you think about Darklands?
It looks very old school.
Is she tied up?
I know, it kind of looks like...
Wait, no, she's got a sword.
She's got an axe.
Oh.
She's got a battle axe.
Oh.
She's about ready to bring it down. It's such a product of its time.
Yeah.
Like, you look at that, and it's like, that's such an early 90s RPG. On one hand, you're like, it's kind of ridiculous, but on the other hand, you kind of like it because it's, like, so 90s.
How about Darksiders War Mastered?
Oh, man, I gotta figure out what I'm looking at here.
That is one busy horse and horse rider.
What the heck
is his hand detached?
Yeah, it looks like his hand is on a chain.
Yeah.
That looks like a magic card.
Yeah, it does. That's a crazy picture.
It is crazy.
I think if they took that man off the horse, it might be kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
I
think that's who you play as, though. I think you play as...
You're probably right. That's probably...
you play as Death.
That's Death?
Yeah, because Darksiders is supposed to be based off of this... the Horsemen. The Horsemen from the end times.
I don't know.
I think it's 7 Horsemen. I can't remember now.
I think that horse is pretty cool, like with the flaming legs. I'm not a fan of what the guy on the horse looks like.
Yeah, I mean, but like this is like a hack and slash Devil May Cry action game, so that's kind of like where they're going. That's kind of like why they're going for that, because they know that kind of look is going to appeal to that kind of audience.
Kind of looks like Guardian Hero's character.
Yes. I definitely see that. I definitely see some Guardian Heroes in there.
How about Darksiders 2?
I would totally take Darksiders 1 poster over Darksiders 2 picture. That, in my opinion, is one of the worst posters on this collection.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, and I think that purple and white don't quite go there either. How about Darkwood?
That's really sad to me, because Darkwood is actually an indie game that restores my faith in indie games. And yet that cover, the longest time I ignored it just because that cover's so gross.
It's disgusting looking. Even if that is one of the enemies in the game or whatever, that picture is gross.
I think it would have been so much cooler if they had put the Wolfman. If I had known that the Wolfman was in Darkwood, I'd have been, holy crap, I'm going to play this game right away.
But instead they choose this old man that's melting or something.
He's like being invaded by the forest. Yeah, Darkwood has a hideous. Darkwood has a hideous cover. It's not interesting at all. The only way you could play a game like that is if someone recommended it to you.
I don't know what they were thinking. Day of the Tentacle Remastered.
I actually like the original cover of Day of the Tentacle better than this remastered one.
If I were to just see this, I wouldn't want to play it because I'm not a fan of like super cartoony video games.
Yeah.
Even though I thought this game was awesome. It was so funny. But I wouldn't play this based on that cover. It's too cartoony for me. How about Dead Space?
I have never liked this cover, which is why I've never played this game.
Is this just a severed arm?
It's just a severed arm floating in space. That's
it's floating. Okay.
Yeah, just a severed arm floating in space.
Deadlight Director's Cut. This is like a Rorschach picture.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. It's practically just a piece of paper called Deadlight with ink splatters on it.
Deus Ex.
I do not like that picture. I think Deus Ex is a really cool game.
They definitely could have chose a better picture for that game.
But it's not as near as bad as the next Deus Ex.
Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. Now that looks
modern.
Yes.
Like bad
this
modern.
This guy is so cool. That kind of modern.
Oh,
he looks
man.
awful.
The only reason I bought that game was because I'm really enjoying the original Deus Ex, and people said this one is amazing.
Alrighty, Diablo.
That's a great cover. You will never forget that cover once you've seen it once.
It's scary. I really do like it, actually.
It's iconic. If you were to like walk through a PC store or gaming store like Comp USA back in the day or something like that, and you were just looking quickly through the shelves, that thing would pop out at you instantly.
That red is so red, and his face is really scary.
It's definitely a game that my mom and dad would not approve of.
I don't think my mom would like that either. I think that was their goal.
Yeah.
Was to make it
to make it that the kids would want to play it and parents would hate it.
Yeah.
Which, when you actually play it, there's nothing wrong with the game at all.
No, there's not.
It's actually a very clean game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got hideous monsters in it, but you don't play as Diablo.
No,
he's the ultimate bad guy.
That's the thing. He's the guy you're trying to kill.
Yeah.
It's not like Diablo's being praised and stuff like that.
Just like he's like Jaws, like the movie Jaws.
Yeah.
And even then, Diablo doesn't even, unlike Jaws, Diablo doesn't even show up till the very, very end.
Mm-hmm. How about Dishonored, Death of the Outsider?
You know what? I really want to keep my eyes out for a DLC that actually looks better than the original. Because it seems like if the original cover is good or okay or just slightly tolerable, then the DLC will, no matter what, will look absolutely 100% retarded. That is a terrible picture.
Yeah.
Horrible.
This looks really stupid.
It's like, how in the world did that get past the marketing?
I don't know. It looks like somebody dressing up in their Halloween costume standing in front of the mirror, thinking they're really cool. They're like cosplaying or something. How about Dishonored Definitive Edition?
I like it. I actually like what the Definitive Edition looks like more than just the regular Dishonored cover.
Oh, I do too.
I got no problems with it. And it's got even a little rat.
Oh my goodness! There are rats.
It's got rats.
That cover is awesome. How about Dishonored 2?
You know what it really looks like? And I'm not actually sure which came first.
What?
It looks heavily inspired by Tekken 7.
Oh, is this Doom 2016?
Yep, that's Doom 2016.
What do you think of it?
I like it. It definitely, when I saw it at Walmart, I definitely wanted to pick it up and play it. Mostly because the Doom logo is exactly the same logo as the original I actually really like the alternative cover when you pull that out of the sleeve and flip it around. The alternative cover is way better. I think Doom 2 is classic looking.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like an NES game.
It looks like an old PC game.
Yeah, that's classic looking.
Yeah. How about Dota 2?
Service-based games have some of the worst covers ever. I don't care if it's Dota, I don't care if it's League of Legends, I don't care if it's Overwatch. If it's a service-based game, it probably has a terrible cover. And that's the same goes for Dota 2.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid looking. Dragon Age.
I really like Dragon Age.
That is cool.
I like that cover a lot.
It's a red, bloody dragon.
Mm-hmm. A dragon made out of blood splashes.
How about Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen? Dark Arisen.
Oh, it's alright.
It's
got
alright.
the flame. You can see that there's a dragon in the flame.
It looks like it's an intense game.
It is. It's actually, it's interestingly enough, this game, and it looks like it once you know it, but this game was developed by Capcom.
Man, this Dragon Sphere picture has some low pixel counts.
I don't really like the free logo, but that's not really its fault.
No, that doesn't actually belong there.
That's Good Old Game's fault.
Yeah. I like the colors, and it's probably a nicer looking if you can zoom out of it, but there's way zoomed in. Dungeon Keeper Gold.
If you didn't know what kind of a game it is, you probably would have never played this.
No, I actually really like this game, but I don't like that cover. I like the red in the background, but I don't like that main character.
You know, Bullfrog doesn't really do a good job at making any game covers. I can't think of a single Bullfrog game that looks appealing based on just the cover.
I think Dungeon Keeper 2 is uglier, even so. It kind of looks like Arkham City. Dungeons 2. I don't really care for that picture either. I'm trying to tell where the face is of that creature. It just kind of looks like some sort of a golem.
Looks like a Magic the Gathering character.
It does. And Dungeons 3.
Oh, it's the same character. They have the same helmet. He's got the 3 eyes in the helmet with the horns.
Oh, those are his eyes. Okay. And then there's something in a crystal ball or something. Yeah, I don't like that picture either. It's too busy. I don't want him to be so busy.
They're very, very busy.
Dusk.
Dusk cover is amazing. Because if you look at this, okay, there's like these really weird deer, like killer deer monster creatures in the top with like a cathedral behind them. But if you look at the reflection in the pond, it's a bunch of crazy Chainsaw Massacre looking guys with a barn in the background. So like the real world has like the demonic deer in it, but the reflected world in the water has the Chainsaw Massacre and the farmhouse type thing.
That's pretty cool.
It's super sweet.
That's a really good picture. And I like where they put Dusk in the middle there. How about Dust? An Elysian Tale.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
I don't either. I see that there's a person, but
like this, I really want to play this game.
Is there like a
really
demon
fun.
stabbing him in the biscuit?
I really want to play this game because when I watched the previews for it, it looked awesome.
I don't know what's happening in this picture.
It's like he's holding it really, like if we were just based off of what we're looking at, not knowing what game it is, it looks like a dude with a rice picker hat hugging the corpse of some dead anthropomorphic character with a weird...
How do you see an anthropomorphic character?
Because see, he's hugging this person right there.
Well, how do you see an anthropomorphic character?
Because look how that's... Well, I guess it's kind of cheating because I already know that everything in this game is anthropomorphic.
Well, I didn't, and I don't see anything anthropomorphic.
You can't see the ears poking out of his rice hat?
It just looks like a rice picker hat with sticks in it. Or something.
And then you get that word like mouse bird character with a sword that looks like he is stabbing it into his butthole.
I thought that the arm and the guy right there was just like falling out of his outfit, or...
Oh yeah.
I didn't even realize. I didn't realize there's supposed to be two people there.
He's got his arms wrapped around the other person.
I couldn't even tell that.
Yeah, okay. It's a horrible picture. It's sad.
Well, what about the Elder Scrolls Arena?
I think it's classic looking. It's like classic looking. It reminds me of like it's like Conan the Barbarian. It's like the people who made this still thought Conan the Barbarian was cool. It's a classic.
Yeah, I'll just agree with you.
No. Tell me, what do you think?
I have no comment. I would not play this game based on that picture. But there's just something special about the old 90s artwork.
Yeah, there's something very nostalgic about it.
How about Morrowind?
Love it. Really, really like the cover for Morrowind. I like the cover for all the new Elder Scroll games.
So you also like Oblivion?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I do. I like both of those games. When I saw them in the game store, they look so mysterious to me.
They do look interesting, and they look very...
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. What in the world? The Elder Scrolls Chapter 2 Daggerfall. Looks like Tales from the Crypt.
That's why I like it, actually. I like it because it looks like it's from Tales of the Crypt.
This looks like a horror game.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, it's just like the other Elder Scrolls games. I'm sure it's got a creature like that in it.
It looks like a cover art for a metal band from the 80s or something.
Iron Maiden is what you're thinking of.
Apparently I'm thinking of Iron Maiden, but that's what it looks like, is an 80s artwork.
I like it, even though I don't like skulls, just because it reminds me of Tales of the Crypt, it reminds me of Iron Maiden, and it reminds me of a very, very old D&D rule set book. I'd be more likely to play that one than the Conan the Barbarian cover.
How about Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom?
I think that's a great cover, honestly. Which is strange because it's got that dude in it, and usually, like, I don't like it when they reveal people's faces on game covers because it just kind of they usually mess it up.
How about Enter the Gungeon, Gungeons and Dragons,
Advanced Gungeons and Dragons.
I couldn't read that word.
I do not like indie people's taste in artwork.
Well, I kind of liked it until I looked at the bottom half of the picture.
And what is that? A football player with like a cheese grate for a helmet?
I think so, and then some elf from Santa's workshop.
It looks like super monkey ball down there.
All I saw first was the dragon creature, and I was like, that's kind of cool, but it got ruined by seeing those little dumpling people. How about Eternal?
I don't like it. The only reason I got into Eternal was because I got so sick of Hearthstone. I do not like that picture.
I don't like it either. I like the colors, though. I just don't like the picture.
Mm-hmm.
How about Europa Universalist 2?
Do you think we can actually pause? Because I'm starting to get kind of burnt out.
Oh, okay.